Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is voiceover Tanya here because I filmed this entire plan with me the week of May 19th through I believe the 25th and went to edit and discovered there is no audio. So we're gonna voiceover today because you can't go back and undo a plan with me. I am using this kit from Fern Creek Stickers. It's happy. It makes me happy. And her sticker shop's closed, so I can't link that. But I'm also using these three Tombos. One of them is number 817. The other two I don't have the numbers for. I will look those up though and include those in the description. But I thought they went really well with this kit, and I'm using my Pilot Metropolitan. Not only is the pen purple, but I have it inked up with Robert Oster's, I believe it's Cosmic Swirl. It's a beautiful purple color. And then I have my Papermate Ink Joy for me to write on the planner stickers because the fountain pen ink will feather. So this week is crazy. This week I had tons of appointments that happened. There were not enough doctor's appointment stickers in the world. Actually, there were, and we made it happen. But this is the week that I start chemo, and tons of stuff just on top of that, appointment after appointment after appointment. So here I'm kind of deciding where I want to put the days of the week sticker, and I believe I decided that I wanted to put the blue on top, just like it is on here. We're about to find out now, aren't we? I know it feels weird to me doing this voiceover because, well, yeah. Okay, so I decided to put it down below, and can I get stickers even on a page? Yeah, no, probably not to save my life, but I got this one pretty close. And this purple color is so pretty. I know this kit may not seem bright to some eyes, but to me this kit is very bright. And I just needed something bright and happy in my life with all the cancer going on. I don't remember if I told you guys or not, but in the midst of all this, my mother got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So, yeah, mother-daughter cancer. Not really on my summer agenda, but that's how it's going to be. And let's see, can I get this one down straight? I could look at my planner right now and tell you, but my guess is over under, it's not going to be straight. And what do you know? It's down a little far at the bottom. That's just how it's gonna have to be. And this blue goes so perfectly with it. And I was just excited that I had the Tombos to match because I tend to go for those in a little more muted colors too. But I do my roommate's bullet journal setups, and I may be including some of those on the channel too. And she likes bright colors. Now I'm going to fill in the days of the week. I'm checking my fountain pen to see if it's going to feather, and of course it does. So I'm going to switch back to that Papermate Ink Joy and put in the days of the week here. Now, I know that these kits often come with the number stickers that you could put on here. So it'll be the same color and it'll match and it will be so cohesive. But I like to get my bang for my buck. And those number stickers, it just seems so wasteful to only use 7 of them. So I save them and I use them later in a bullet journal spread or in my health and fitness planner, somewhere where I'm going to use them all. Okay. So now it comes time for planning this out, and we're going to use this Live Boldly sticker to cover up the calendar. And to remind me to live my life, even though, it has gone to hell in a handbasket lately, but just to live it and enjoy life. I'm trying to keep a positive attitude through all of this because there's no point in not having one. And I am just hoping to have the grace to get through the rest of this. And of course, I remembered I didn't put down my bottom washi. I do not have ADD. I do not have ADHD, but you would not know from this plan with me. I am a little all over the place, and I think it's just because I have so much going on so much stress going on. Today was the last straw. I'm recording this audio on Thursday. So when you see this video, I will either be in chemo or will have had my chemo session. But today was the final straw with everything going on. I got on, and my insurance offers counseling for free. I can work with a therapist for free through my insurance. Now, I've seen a therapist in the past. I think they're wonderful. And today I signed up. I've got a therapy appointment on Monday morning because I need that. So obviously I need a to-do list, and there are these little washi pieces that are ripped up. So I'm just going to grab one of those and stick it on here and then layer the to-do on top of it. Do a little sticker layering. I don't do a lot of that because it does bulk up the planner, but you know, I'm embracing the bulk this year. Let my planner be as bulky as it can. I know there are people out there who weigh their planner, and that's something I should have done. Oh, this is me realizing that I took my tweezers out of this little pencil pouch, and I need them. So, of course, what am I going to do? I'm going to improvise here. I believe I used my ruler. Yep, I used my ruler as tweezers. So, hey, this is something good for you to know. You don't have tweezers. You got a ruler, just stick it onto the edge of it. And honestly, I think things lined up a little straighter than when I used tweezers doing this. Go figure. So, and I decided to use these little to-do dots because I don't usually use them, but I wanted the more color, the better. I wanted this thing covered this week. And I started covering up extra stuff, not just to use stickers, although there's nothing wrong with that. I did it so that I couldn't schedule extra stuff because I am the queen of trying to overschedule myself. I have to sit back and take a look and go, yeah, no, you cannot do that. You do not have the physical time to do that. So I used a set of teal stickers, and then I used a set of pink stickers to go with it, just kind of mixing up the colors. And oh, the to-dos this week are a little nuts. And I know that I'm not going to get them all done, but I am prioritizing my to-do list into the stuff that has to get done, like getting this video editing and scheduled. The stuff that I would like to get done. It really needs to get done. And then the stuff that in a 100% ideal world, which let's face it, I am not living in, would get done, but probably won't this week. But by writing it down, I can go back and remember it for next week. Okay, so on Monday, this was my last week in the schools. And I'm just using this Tombow to make a box over the hours that I was in the schools. Like I said, this is chemo week, tons of doctor's appointments. Whoever created the school schedule this year is nuts. We go past Memorial Day, and we are always done before Memorial Day. So I'm ending up just a little bit early, and that's okay. The kids aren't mad about it. Next week, I think they go to school on Monday. No, they don't go to school on Monday because it's Memorial Day. They go to school Tuesday and Wednesday, and then they have a 2-hour day. I don't know what they were smoking when they scheduled that, but they did the same thing next year as well. So yeah, fun. And for all of you schools who don't go back to school until Labor Day, we start in August, so we get out earlier, just because our summer months get really hot, and we don't have that problem. We're still really hot in the fall when they go back. Okay, so I've got that scheduled in. I've got some stickers there marking my book club. I used the cute little set of books. I was all about using stickers in this spread. I know I do some where I don't use a lot, and then I do some when I use a lot. So this is marking off the doctor's appointment where I have to take my mom to the radiology place to get a CT scan of her lungs. The surgeon, who knows she has pancreatic cancer, she wanted to get a CT of my mom's lungs as well to make sure the cancer had not spread to the lungs, because that is something that's pretty common. So I also then decided, hey, maybe I'll use this Monday through Friday sticker to track my meals. Now, it is currently Friday, and have I written a single meal on that sticker? No, I have not. This whole bottom part of my planner is completely blank right now. And I'm here to tell you that sometimes the best laid plans, you don't have time to go back to it, and that's okay. One of my goals is to get back into my planner very regularly because I feel like I've just been behind, and it's because I haven't been planning out my days and weeks the best. So I went ahead and put in lessons. I'm going to fill in that was book club, and then I'm going to fill in my mom's doctor's appointment. Fun fact, the blood test and the scans have come back now, and my mom's cancer markers, normal was 300 or less. My mom's were over 3,000. So she will definitely be doing chemo before surgery. Also, her CT scan came back and there was a tiny nodule in her lung, but the doctor said it's too small to even biopsy. So we're just going to keep an eye on that one. So the next steps for her are getting a port put in. So next week, in addition to recovering from chemo, I've got more of her appointments. Okay, so I also just popped in some Tombow there to mark off lessons I'm teaching at my house. I am still teaching at my house this week. And the Tombow itself, you have to let it dry or it'll bleed everywhere with the fountain pen. So we're letting that dry, and I'm adding this stripe sticker because I saw this cute sticker that said, "Oh, hello week, let's do this," that I thought was perfect for this week, and I wanted to include it. And I felt like giving it a background would just be a good plan. So I'm starting with Live Boldly and then, "Oh, hello week, let's do this." So then on Tuesday, I don't have lessons on Tuesday, but I have more doctor's appointments. So I had to take my roommate to physical therapy. It's about 45 minutes from our house, so I had to take her there that morning. Then, once we got back into town, we just hung out on our side of town for a few weeks, and I had a wig appointment. So there is this organization in town that does wigs, and they do wigs for cancer patients, no charge. So I had an appointment at a salon, and I went out and they looked at my hair type, they looked at the lengths and the color, and they had me try on a bunch of wigs. And they were like, "If you see something you like, you go home with it today. And if you don't, we'll order stuff for you to try." And I thought that was so totally awesome. I did end up going home with a wig that day. So I may not film all of my YouTube videos in a wig. I may just be bald some, but I like that I have a wig. I also popped up there at the very top of the page a little heart because I did stop by the farmer's market that morning on the way out of town. And then at the end of the day, yet another doctor's appointment. I had the follow-up with my surgeon. This is my 5-week follow-up, and I got totally released. She said I'm healing well. She wrote me a prescription for prosthetics and a compression sleeve for my arm. And she released me to start doing strength training again, doing pretty much whatever I want. We also talked about chemo and that they are not going to do a port, that they're going to do chemo in my arm. And she said that's great. And if for some reason the arm veins start not playing nice and I need a port, that she could put that in for me. So that was it. I was planning on going to my church class that night, but I was so tired at the end of that day. I just decided to let the guy who was running it do it. And then we had crazy storms and we ended up canceling it anyway. I believe I ended up in the bathroom Tuesday night with the cat, the dog, and my roommate because it's our safe space during a little tornado warning. Luckily, the tornadoes went south of us and the baseball-sized hail went north of us. So we were good to go. Okay, moving on to Wednesday. On Wednesday, I had chemotherapy education. It was supposed to be in the afternoon, but they called me late Tuesday afternoon, wanting to move it to Wednesday morning because they had double booked. I told them that 8:30 Wednesday morning was not going to work. I had a podcast interview at 10. I couldn't get home in time. So we kind of negotiated a little bit and agreed on 8:15. In hindsight, I should have just said no because of course they were running late and I was so stressed. I did make it to my podcast interview in time, but I was stressed about it. So then I had a podcast interview immediately after that. I was on the Ultimate Blog podcast, and that episode is going to be coming out in July. And I had so much fun talking to those two ladies. If you are a blogger or if you've ever thought about having a blog, check out their podcast. They are the sweetest women. They were so totally awesome. And they were also so totally awesome with the fact that I emailed them from the oncologist to tell them I might be a little late. I made it to my computer at 10:01. I was 1 minute late. And you know what? I'm a teacher and I'm a band kid. Like, being even 1 minute late is just devastating for me. It drives me crazy. So then over here, I'm going to mark in a few other things using the Tombow. I didn't have a bunch of labels this week to put appointments in, so I'm using the Tombow markers instead. And of course, I'm laying in those appointments. I know one of them, the one at the bottom of the page, is private lessons. And the one at the top of the page, I'm trying to remember what that was. It feels like it was 10 years ago instead of just 2 days ago. Literally 2 days ago. You know what? I have my planner right here next to me, so we're going to check it out. What did I have? Oh, yeah. A friend was coming by the house to visit. And, she was so sweet. She brought flowers and she brought Starbucks. I'm so excited that Summer Skies drink came out. And last year was the first time I had ever had any kind of boba. I know, I'm late to the game, but the Summer Skies drink, it tastes like blue raspberry, and it has these little raspberry boba pearls in the bottom, and I can only describe them as little bursts of happiness. Like when you suck that little boba up through the straw and it bursts in your mouth, it's just like a little burst of happiness. It brings me such joy, and I love it. So I got one of those. Then Thursday, I got a nail appointment. Guys, I got permission to start getting my nails done again during chemo. There are rules that go with it. I have to do it at a certain time during the chemo cycle. But I did. So I got my nails done today on Thursday when I'm filming this. I'm very excited about it. Okay, so nothing fancy, just simple gel. And then I remembered at the last minute that I needed to put Mass on my calendar because I went to Mass Wednesday night and I got anointed. So I would be anointed before chemo. And I think I may try to keep Mass on Wednesday nights throughout the summer and kind of enjoy that weekday Mass. And my recycling needed to go to the curb on Wednesday as well because today is recycling day. So I'm checking to make sure these are dry enough to go ahead and pencil in, or I guess fountain pen in, my appointments. And Mass is still a little wet, so we're going to wait there. Okay, so loving this pen. I think that's what I was doing, tell you about my pen. It's like weighted and it's not expensive. It's like a $30 pen. The only thing I don't like about it is that the filling mechanism inside it doesn't hold a ton of ink. So it does run out of ink kind of fast, but I only use it at home. It's not my on-the-go pen, so that's really not a problem. I don't have to worry if I run out of ink. Literally, I just go to the shelf and grab the ink bottle and re-ink it. Simple as that. Okay, so now continuing on. I've got the nail appointment. I was so just ready for that, and once I found out officially that I could go ahead and get gel, I was elated. And then I have all of these little old icons that I've been trying to use up. So I'm picking out those that will work. I know I have a lot of calls to put in, and I think right now I'm contemplating using a telephone or using a laptop. And I ended up going with the phones because, it's a call. But yeah, it does take place on a computer. The old-fashioned telephones kind of crack me up because I don't know that anybody does no business calls anyway. I don't know. Sometimes I call and talk to my friends. But even a lot of those, we do Zoom or FaceTime now. Okay, so my first call was with my ad specialist. That was this morning, kind of tweaking my ad strategy for my business. And then I discovered there was another phone on the sticker sheet I was using, but I opted this time to use the laptop because I had an exploratory call with a potential VA. My VA let me know last week that she's going to be stepping away from hourly work and going a different direction, and she's going to be stepping down. Now, she's super sweet. She knows I'm dealing with cancer. She offered to stay on for 3 months to help me out to get me through the end of my treatment. But if I'm going to have to switch VAs, I want to kind of do it sooner than later. So I told her, stay on until I find somebody else. And she was actually excited about that because she's ready to move on to other things. So I had an exploratory call with a new VA today, and I'm hoping it's going to work out. So she's putting together a package for me and sending it over. So maybe by this time next week, I will have a new VA starting in June. And that will be exciting for me. It's going to be a little more than I really want to pay, but I have just accepted that I need help if I'm going to keep my business running while dealing with this cancer. And by hiring somebody, I'm more likely going to make more money in my business, and it's totally worth it. Do I feel ready for it? No, not at all. But, I never have felt ready when I went ahead and added help and brought somebody on, and it has always been beneficial. So now I'm doing another box because I am blocking out my chemo treatment. And yes, you see that correctly. That is a 4-hour block. I have to be there tomorrow at 8:15 to get lab work done. Then I go back and I work with the medical assistant, aka the nurse. Then the doctor comes in and talks to me, and then I go to chemo. And they said the prep medicine for chemo to kind of like combat nausea and stuff takes about half an hour. My first medicine is an hour, and then my next medicine is 30 minutes to an hour. And then I get to go home with one of those patches that gives me a shot 27 hours later to up my white blood cell count. After chemo, I have a call with my dietitian. My dietitian was scheduled for the week I had surgery, and I had to reschedule it. And this was the earliest date I could get. Of course, I did not know I had chemo at the time. I also didn't put it in my calendar because I was so busy with everything, it slipped my mind. And it's too late to schedule, so I am just going to see my dietitian online after chemo and be fine. Now, back to Wednesday, I'm filling in a couple of things. I did take a nap after my friend left. I was so exhausted. And then we went ahead and did an Imperfect Foods order. I love Imperfect Foods. I do not use them every week, but I think we probably do an order at least once a month to get items that we can't get locally. So I'm excited about that. It's not really price-wise the best for us in this area. Now, if I lived in a bigger city, like a city that wasn't really drivable, something like New York, and the prices were a lot higher, I think it would be totally worth my money. But here in Tennessee, it's a little bit cheaper for me to just order my groceries online and pick them up at Kroger. Speaking of Kroger, if you guys use Kroger, that charity, the wig story that gave me the free wig, they do that Kroger Plus card thing. Where you can go on and sign them up as your charity, and they get like a little percentage of all your purchases at no charge to you. So if that's something that you're interested in donating to, I'll put the information for the wig story in the description box. So this weekend I wrote in rest because that's what I'm going to have to do after chemo. I need to rest and give my body time to just handle this poison. I mean, that's really what it is. They're putting a poison inside me. And I decided I wanted to make rest look a little fancy. So I did just a little outline with my fountain pen here. This is simple lettering. I just wrote it in with a Tombow, and I'm just kind of outlining the outer edge here. Now, this is where I made the mistake. I should not have drawn that little line on the S. I should have just kept it on the outside, but I decided it didn't look too bad, and that's just how it's going to be. Okay, so I think that's what I was explaining here, and then I'm going to get that T done in, and it's something so simple, just drawing a little line. You can see it's not straight, it's not perfect, but it just makes that word pop a little bit. It's the little things like that. Now, I don't need to schedule anything else on Saturday or Sunday. And I really wanted to make this colorful and not plain. So this is where some of those full boxes that came with this kit come in. I'm going to go ahead and I know I'm going to add them in here. So I have no idea what I'm talking to you guys about right now at all. This is my first voiceover because I normally record these live. Oh yeah, here come the full boxes. Tell me if you like this voiceover. It's actually kind of fun to do. And if you like it, I'll throw one in every now and then. Let me know in the comments below, yay or nay on the voiceovers. You are not going to hurt my feelings if you're like, no, I would rather have in the moment planning than you having this conversation with us over here. This channel's for you, and I take all constructive criticism very well. Now, don't be a jerk. Don't be like, you suck. Well, I mean, you know what? You can be a jerk if you want. You are totally entitled to being a jerk. I give you full permission. And here I decided I'm just going to overlap these because I've never done it before, and it seemed like a fun thing to do. And I really like the way it turned out. So, hopefully, this is something that you enjoyed. I thoroughly got lots of enjoyment out of doing it, and I love these colors. This spread makes me so totally happy with the pink and stuff. I love those full boxes, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm waiting for my peace sign. When is it going to come is the question. So until next time, wait for it. Peace out.